From the Bay Area's local news station, we begin now with breaking news.
Good evening. We start with breaking news tonight. Police are investigating a shooting that happened at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. Good evening and thank you for joining us at 8. I'm J.R. Stone.
And I'm Justine Waldman. We are following this breaking news. The shooting happened at about 5:30 this evening at the very popular and packed Gilroy Garlic Festival. We do have some reporters on the scene as well as information about where family members are trying to meet up with their loved ones, where they can meet them. But let's go right now to KRON 4's Gail Ong. She is on the scene now at the Gilroy Garlic Festival after a shooting later today. Gail, what can you tell us?
Well, Justine and JR, I'm here at Gilroy High School, so I'm still about half a mile away from the actual festival. You can see the police tape is still up over here. Now, what we know is about multiple people are hurt, possibly shot. There's still details that we don't know, but you can see right here, I just literally got here to the scene. A lot of people are just sitting out here in front of the high school. Multiple law enforcement agencies from Santa Clara County are here, as well as fire departments. And we just know, as you mentioned, this all started around 5:30. That is when police were called to the festival. Reports of a shooting. Now, we have several witness photos and videos that were sent to our newsroom that we can show you. It shows people running away from a potential shooter. Now, again, little information here, and from my vantage point, I cannot see anything other than this police tape here blocked off at Gilroy High School. And as all these I can actually show you here, try to get you a better shot. There's a lot of fire trucks, as I mentioned, from Santa Clara County, all here just staged here. And as we know, we do not have a suspect or suspects. We don't have a description of the suspect or suspects. Again, little information here, but we are waiting to hear more from Gilroy Police. And again, we just got here, so we will try to talk to these people over here and just find out what they know, if they were there. I did have time to ask some people, and some people just live in this neighborhood. Some people were actually working at the time. So again, there's still so much to find out. But that's all I can tell you for now. We will be here through the night and try to gather more details as it becomes available. We're live in Gilroy. I'll send it back to you.
Let's go right now to KRON 4's Dan Thorne. He is also live on the scene with us. He just got to Christmas Hill Park, where the Gilroy Garlic Festival takes place. Dan, are you there? What's the latest information that you have?
Justine, I'm actually at, we're at Gavilan College right now, which is the reunification center where people could come and find their loved ones they may have gotten displaced in the fray. I'm right now joined by Christian. Christian is a part of a rock band that was actually on stage, and tell me what you saw and what was going on.
We were on the Vineyard stage. We were the last band for the day. We were in the last song. 5:30 was the cutoff. We just been told that, you know, this is it, last song. And we heard a couple of pops, about 3 pops. Then there was a delay. You know, you're not sure what it is, you know, and then all of a sudden there was a whole lot more shooting, and everybody knew. We ran, we went under the stage, hid under the stage, and, you know, you could smell the gunpowder, you could hear the screams. It was tough.
Were you seeing this from the stage? Was it happening in the audience?
It was just to the left-hand side of the stage as we were facing out into the audience, and our guitar player actually saw the guy. He's reported it to the police, what he looked like, and it seemed to him that he was just shooting indiscriminately into the crowd. We waited until the cops came and found us under the stage. You know, we're the band, while they were looking for anybody else. And we, you know, could see people with blood on their shirts, and, you know, saw people that were down, and then we were escorted out of the park.
You said that one of your bandmates actually saw a gentleman. What did he have? What did he look like?
He says he was white. He was wearing a green shirt, a ball cap, and a gray scarf. And he thinks, and he doesn't have a lot of expertise with weaponry, but he thinks it was an assault type weapon.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Dan, later in the show. We want to move along because we do have another interview with Sonia Turner Conley. Sonia, we were talking with you earlier and it broke up. Can you describe and can you take us from the start as to what happened today? I think we have a better connection now.
Okay. Well, in the beginning, we heard a lot of loud noises, but everybody thought it was just like fireworks or firecrackers and stuff. Until a bunch of people, like a huge crowd of people, started running, and we were all confused. Everyone was so confused. They didn't know what was going on. And, like, we were asking people, and people were just running and not saying anything, and they were screaming and crying. So other people started yelling out, they're shooting, and they're not. And, like, at first we were like, what? Like, it was kind of hard to process that. So we were just standing there. We were confused, and then we heard 3 new gunshots, and that just confirmed it right there. Like, okay, there's a shooting. We need to get out of here. We need to run. So we started running, and it was just the entire festival was just running towards the other side, where the children's area was. That's where I was. And we had to run. There was only one other exit, and it was like a mile-long trail that went out into our neighborhood. So we had to go out there and wait for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes for the shuttle to come and take us back to the park spot.
So how many gunshots do you think that you heard total?
That I heard probably about 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
But I know there was more than that.
Did you see anyone that was hurt?
No, I didn't.
Sonia, it sounds like, and we've talked with witnesses for the last hour and a half tonight, all of the people that we've talked with described the kids area that was nearby. How close were the sounds from that kids area tonight? Welcome back to KRON 4 News at 8. We continue to follow breaking news of a shooting scenario that has happened down in Gilroy at the Gilroy Garlic Festival this evening. The governor just tweeted moments ago, Governor Gavin Newsom, saying this is nothing short of horrific. Tonight, California stands with the Gilroy community. My office is monitoring the situation closely, grateful for the law enforcement's efforts and their continued work as this situation develops. So certainly we heard from the president earlier. Now we are hearing from the governor as well.
Yeah, we've also heard from Kamala Harris this evening, also sending her condolences as we're working to gather information about exactly how many people have been shot, how many people are injured or killed, and also if there's any information on a suspect that we should be passing along. All that information is still coming into our newsroom, but witnesses are describing to us the terrifying moments after they heard gunshots ring out at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. And KRON 4's Dan Thorne is live for us now. He's at the Reunification Center at Gavilan College in Parking Lot B. If you're trying to meet up with any loved ones, that's where police are asking people to meet up. And Dan is there. And Dan, you spoke with a member of the band who was there, and he really was able to describe the shooter a little bit to you and the panic and the witness that you have now. What did they see and hear? As so many witnesses told us they thought it was fireworks, and then it was shooting, and then it was just panic as people were literally, what they thought, running for their lives.
Absolutely, Justine. Well, joining me right now is Sean. He was a stagehand for that band at the Vineyard stage, and he was explaining to me what the scene was like there. Sean, tell our viewers out there what it was like for you. You told me it was around 5:30 this afternoon, this evening, when everything kind of erupted.
Yeah, you could see, you could hear bullets, and the bullets were hitting the ground. You could see them go up, and that's what I called out. It's a real gun, and so the crew and the band ran and hid underneath the stage. So we were hiding underneath the stage. We could hear more gunfire happening. Eventually some gunfire happened and bullets were hitting the stage that we were hiding underneath. And then eventually it stopped. There was people just calling out, looking for people. Eventually we came out and I could see that there was someone down and they were performing CPR on them, and later I heard it was the gunman.
How quickly was all this happening? Because we got a few things we've got to dissect in that situation there. How quickly was all of this going on?
I think the whole thing took maybe 15 minutes.
Here's the latest.
Make it out.
Yeah,
too.
here's the latest from Gilroy Police. As a reminder, please do not come to Christmas Hill Park. This is still an active crime scene. We will be sharing information with the media soon. Again, we are waiting for confirmation exactly how many people have been shot and whether or not a suspect is in custody. They're thanking us for their patience during this rapidly evolving situation. Again, it is rapidly evolving. And again, also that witness telling Dan that the area is going to be closed for at least the next 24 hours because there were so many vendors and people who left. They left all their belongings, their car keys. I'm sure people left their purses on tables and just tried to get out of there. It's all going to be closed for the next 24 hours.
And we even talked with some of those vendors earlier who actually had to jump over people to get out of that area and then came back and were trying to wait to get back into that area.
Jumping over fences to try to get out of Christmas Hill Park.
Exactly. Well, we have a guest with us right now. Russell, you were at the Gilroy Garlic Festival today. Thank you for joining us. Describe where you were, Russell, and what happened.
Hello, thank you for having me. I was there by the smoothie booth, I guess, between the stage and where the shooting took place. We just got some food and we were walking towards the exit, which would be on our right-hand side. And we heard what we thought were firecrackers until about the fourth or fifth shot. We saw everybody running and knew it was a gun.
So you realize it was a gun, you hear the shots. Obviously, I'm guessing you run from there. How far are you from that person? Describe that moment.
I honestly couldn't have been more than 20 or 30 feet. It was loud poppings. We just ran straight ahead into a booth. One of the vendors was screaming and yelling for everyone to come in and take cover. So I did that.
And how many people were with you at that time?
I was there with both of my kids, my wife, and my mother at the time. So we all just ran straight inside, and I think about 50 other people followed us.
Wow. How old are your kids?
One's 5 and one just turned 1 year old.
How did they handle all of this?
They were definitely in shock and scared, but I honestly couldn't have asked for them doing a better job. Just ran, listened to everything I said, listened to everything the mother said.
You were telling them to run?
Run, stay low, stay with us. Just everything's going to be okay.
That's hard as a parent to try to go through such a frightening situation with your kids.
Definitely. I ended up running to another parent who was trying to look for her child as well. So it was a scary and frightening situation.
So how long were you there for? And then what happened when you were able to finally leave? And what did you see at that point?
We were there about an hour. I think the festival's closing down. Everything was, a lot of vendors were putting away their equipment. So it was about maybe 5:30 to 6, somewhere between that time. And we just heard the pop, 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 looked around and saw everybody running and just ran. I don't think we left for another hour. We were trying to hide, stay low, and then we were helping another family as well, try to find her 2 children.
Welcome back to Cron 4 News at 9. We continue to follow breaking news this evening following that mass shooting down in the South Bay, specifically in Gilroy at the festival down there. We now know 3 people have died. 12 others were injured in a shooting that happened around 5:30 this evening.
Cron 4's Gil Ong is live there for us. We are expecting some updated information from the police chief as well as the mayor and the executive director of the festival. That's at 9:30. Gail, what's the latest from where you are right now?
Well, Justine, when I last spoke to you guys, these tour buses arrived, and again, we don't know exactly who they're here for, but I did speak to someone who works at the festival and said they have buses coming for people who are stranded. Now, I don't know if that means it's the vendors, because there's a lot of vendors here at Gilroy High School where I am tonight, and the buses got here about 30 minutes ago, and right now everyone here is just in limbo. I don't see much of the vendors who were out here. There's a handful of them, but you know, it's all in limbo. A lot of them are actually from far away. They traveled from Los Angeles, Sacramento, and they don't tell me they don't have a place to stay. And if you turn around over here, we're just all in the move right over here. But there's some law enforcement vehicles right behind me. They have been staged here ever since. Fire trucks from Santa Clara County are here as well.
While we await this press conference, this is what those vendors had to say.
I'm Candace Marquez. We're sisters. I'm from Gilroy. And I'm from Piscinas.
Okay, and you were working at a vendor?
Yeah. We're the honey ladies.
The honey ladies.
Yes, we're both working there all day.
Yes.
Honey all day, yes.
And did you see him shooting?
Yes, I seen him shooting, and we never saw his face because he was looking straight when he was doing his gun, and if we would have screamed, he would have turned towards us, and who knows. We just seen him clipping, and
looked him straight in the face. She saw his face, and then she hid. She goes, he was walking towards the tent, and I just jumped behind the boxes, Grandma. So,
yeah, and he was definitely white, you know.
Hang on for 1 second. I'm going to see if I can work this out. Hang on.
It was like anything. It was like it's so surreal. It was like it wasn't happening when it was happening. That's how instantaneous it was. He just started loading it and just started shooting. And it wasn't like he was aiming for anybody. He was just shooting to shoot, just to get anything or anybody he could.
It was just an initial round of gunfire at first, and then a second round?
One shot that we heard when we walked out of the porta potty.
And then he loaded the clip, and then he started shooting again. One shot is all we heard.
And how many were in the second time?
I don't know.
It could have been 20. I don't know. We were running for our lives.
What was the gap in terms of time?
It was semi-automatic.
Between the one shot and the second round?
Well, about 3 seconds, 10 seconds, yeah. Because we just got out of there. We turned.
You could see him put the clip in. You saw him put the clip in, and then we just took off.
He was real close, yeah. We ran around the porta potties. And
Army fatigues is what?
No, he's shorts and a green vest.
Shorts and a green vest.
Shorts, a green vest.
And a brown hat.
And a brown hat.
Looks like one of the officials is now coming up to the podium. We're expecting to hear from the mayor and the police chief as well as the organizer of the festival. Let's listen in right now.
Mittee. And finally, we're going to have Brian Bowe, B-O-W-E, the executive director of the Garlic Festival. Understand that the situation is still fluid. It's active. This will be a short briefing followed by no more than 3 to 5 questions. We are planning a press conference first thing tomorrow morning, which will be pushed out via our social and digital media platforms. My name is Captain Pedro Espinoza, E-S-P-I-N-O-Z-A. Thank you.
So again, you heard who we will be hearing from.
Thank you all for being here. First, let me say that I want to express my extreme shock and sadness for what has happened today. This is an active investigation. I would ask for the thoughts and prayers of the community as our Gilroy police officers continue to investigate this tragic and senseless crime. Also, our thoughts and prayers are going out to the victims and their families. We are, again, continuing the investigation. We plan on being out here all night, and as was said earlier, there will be another press conference tomorrow. As the investigation continues, our local law enforcement and their partners will investigate every aspect of this crime. And later, you will receive additional information from the chief regarding reunification and ways for individuals to contact the city and reconnect with their loved ones. All right, thank you.
Good evening. So I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Gilroy, Scott Smithy. And obviously this is one of those press conferences that you never want to have to give in your community.
Can you speak louder? You're very soft.
Sure.
Thank you.
This is one of those press conferences you never want to have to give in your community. And it's sort of a nightmare that you hope you never have to live in reality, but unfortunately we find ourselves in this circumstances where we have to live this today. I'm going to give you some brief information with the information that I have right now. We have literally dozens of officers working on this as we speak. So a lot more information will be coming to light throughout the evening and into the morning tomorrow. And as we have additional information to share, we'll push out through our social media platforms, and we'll set up another press conference so that we can share that information with you.
To KRON 4's Noelle Bello. She's live at St. Louis Regional Hospital. We understand a lot of patients have been sent there. At last check, it was 6 patients who received, including one of the patients who died. Noelle is there live for us with some updated information. Noelle?
It's incredibly sad out here right now. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but there are several family members of the 6-year-old who passed away. They are here waiting for them to transport his body. His name was Steven Luciano Romero. He was 6 years old, and he was not at the festival with his father, but I did speak with his father, who says that getting that phone call that his child and his wife were being transported to the hospital is just the feeling that he felt was just indescribable. He said, I also spoke with his mother, Steven's grandmother, who says that you never, of course, think that anything like this is going to happen to you, but unfortunately that's what they're having to deal with right now. There truly are no words for violence like this. As I said, the 6-year-old boy, Steven Luciano Romero, he has passed away. His mother was also transported here to St. Louis Regional for gunshot wounds. However, here at this hospital, he was told that they don't treat for gunshot wounds here, so his wife did have to be transported to a different hospital. I believe she's at St. Jose Valley Medical. She was shot in the hand as well as in the stomach. She has gone through surgery and is expected to be okay. However, according to the grandmother that's here, according to her, the wife's mom, the other grandmother, was also injured in all of this, and she was telling us that apparently she is not being able to get medical care right now because of some insurance issues. So a lot is going through the minds and hearts of this family here, who, of course, they were at the Gilroy Garlic Festival to enjoy a day together, and they're here together now, but all for the wrong reasons. You know, this festival is something that shows off the best parts of California, and unfortunately the violence that took place here has taken away this 6-year-old boy from his family. As I said, the father was able to see his son here in the hospital, but they are now waiting for him, his body to be transferred. They're not exactly sure where he will be transferred, but it's just very heartbreaking to tell this story here tonight. Like I said, we'll be hearing from the grandmother of Steven Luciano Romero, the 6-year-old who passed away. We'll be hearing from her a little later on. But definitely the one thing is they wish that everyone would just keep their family and all of the families that are affected by this in your prayers, because again, this is something that they never thought would happen to them, especially at an event like the one they were at. For now, I'll send it back to you, Justine. JR.
Noelle, we can see all of the family members behind you, and I can't imagine what they're going through, and especially the father and the mother. You know, when you were speaking with the father, it looks like a very large family. I think there's a hope out there that they've come together. What have you seen, or maybe coming together through this tragedy?
Oh, they are, I mean, thankfully the hospital staff has provided them with coffee and whatever else that they need right here. Blankets, they're all trying to stay warm because it is a little chilly out tonight. So this is, again, not something that they thought they would have to be going through tonight, but it seems as though it's brothers, sisters, cousins, and as well as several other family members and friends that have come to support this family through something like this, because as I spoke with the father, he could barely get words out for me, and his mother, though, came over and just again said how indescribable and had a loss for words that they are. Many of them are just sitting here, mostly just silent, praying and standing with one another, and just kind of giving the father here, his name is Roberto, giving him as much support as they can. Again, this is one of those things that's almost inconsolable to hear that a 6-year-old has lost his life to something like this. So the family is just as shocked as I believe all of us are here tonight.